I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to Pause with Prudence, a space for reflection, quiet, and honest conversation about living more intentionally. A space for those rethinking or on the edge of faith, untangling beliefs, or it's a place where I hope to offer gentle answers to hard and holy questions. Today we begin a journey together about what it means to live fully alive. Not just surviving, not just existing, but inhabiting the fullness of who we are and who we will be, body, soul, and spirit. Today I want to talk with you about something many faith traditions describe, but few actually practice. Is it really possible to live an integrated life, one where the body, soul, and spirit move together in harmony instead of pulling in different directions? Well, I believe it is, and I'd like to share how I've come to understand this way of living, not as an achievement, but as an ongoing practice, a rhythm that I return to again and again, and some days are harder than others. As a follower of Jesus, I believe we were created in God's image for wholeness and to be fully alive. And because God is triune, Father, Son, and Spirit, we too are made with three expressions, body, soul, and spirit. Each has its own voice, its own rhythm, and its own way of knowing. And yet they were never meant to live in isolation. They are one whole, woven together in a single beautiful design. So let's give some definitions for a moment. Our body. Our body is our physical self that meets the world through the five senses. It's a vessel that lets us taste and touch and see and smell and hear life. It tells us what's needed: rest, nourishment, movement, stillness, touch, and pleasure. The body lives between the soul and the spirit. So how about the soul? The soul relates to the world through our emotions, thoughts, memories, imaginations, and will. It's an inner storyteller, recording our experiences, giving them meaning, shaping our desires. The soul relates to the world. And then there's our spirit, with a small s. It's our human spirit, the place that relates to the supernatural world. The Greek word for spirit means breath. At creation, God breathed breath into humans, and it is at that center place where our human spirit lives. This is the place where we can encounter divine love and purpose. It's where our deepest yes to life resides. Most of us do not live with body, soul, and spirit in harmony. We live in fragments. As we get older, this wholeness we were born with gets hidden due to seeing and realizing the gap between life's bright promise and its shadowy reality. We learn a survival mechanism in order to survive. We push our bodies too hard and treat them like machines to carry our ambitions. We silence our souls, ignoring the grief and the longing that asks to be heard. And sometimes, in our attempts to be spiritual, we over-spiritualize, pretending life is only about heaven, while missing the sacredness of everyday moments. We often do not know how disconnected we are. We live compartmentalized that causes us to live a divided life. What if being fully alive isn't about separating these parts, but bringing them together in rhythm, like a three strings of a single instrument tuned together? What if the invitation is to weave body, soul, and spirit into one daily melody, a way of being that honors all of who we are? When we live this way, when integration begins to happen, we start to notice subtle but powerful shifts. The shifts of actually seeing ourselves and beyond ourselves into the lives of others with love and empathy, and also to see the divine with eyes of wisdom. Let me name a few qualities that I've noticed in people who live fully alive. Hopefully, you'll recognize some of these in yourself. People who are fully alive are present and mindful. They stop drifting into the past and worrying about the future. They actually inhabit the present moment, which I talked about in episode 2. They notice what's around them, able to interact with what is right in front of them. People fully alive are also intentional and purposeful. They begin to move through their day guided by meaning rather than momentum. Life feels less like reaction and more like response. There's a hopeful anticipation of even what's next. They're also emotionally engaged. They let their feelings flow, even the tender and painful ones, instead of getting stuck in them and running away from them. They also experience connection. They open themselves to others and to the world around them. Being in the present moment in the right way fosters a self-awareness that leads naturally to the love and service of others. Aliveness flows through their relationships, through being seen and heard and loved. There's also an authenticity and a commitment to grow in people who are fully alive. They live from their truest center, allowing their gifts to unfold naturally. They stop performing and start becoming. And lastly, they embrace the full spectrum of life. To be alive is not to chase comfort. It's learning to say yes to all of life, the joys, the aches, the clarity, the mystery, and even the future without fear. A fully alive person is not one who has mastered peace, but one who stays awake in the movement of life itself. Body, soul, and spirit breathing together, being aware of creation and the divine. I'll be honest, my personality doesn't find this easy. I'm a planner, and planners live in the future. I can spend a whole day preparing for what's ahead, strategizing, and regretting what's behind. And I can plan a beautiful day, but forget to live it. It's taken me years to learn the discipline of pausing, to stop and be present in the middle of a day, and simply notice the ordinary grace around me and let my body, soul, and spirit harmonize. It happens when I feel the warmth of a mug in my hands, or the sound of the clock ticking on my wall, or the lavender plant just outside my door waiting for me to touch and smell, or the clouds drifting across the sky as if they were painted there just for me to see. When I live on autopilot, I miss all of that. I can go through an entire day and realize I never was really there. I answer emails, I can make dinner, and even pray, but I wasn't completely present. And at the end of those days, I can't say that I feel fully alive. But when I slow down, breathe deeply, unclench my jaw, feel my feet on the ground, something sacred begins to happen. My mind quiets, my soul softens, and I sense my spirit tuning itself back to the frequency of life. I'm in touch with something that lies beyond myself. And that's what integration feels like: wholeness, presence, peace, and returning home. So how do we actually practice the integration of body, soul, and spirit in our ordinary, noisy days? Here's some small but meaningful ways to begin. Begin with your body. Before you check your phone or open up your to-do list in the morning, take a slow breath. Feel the air move in and out. Scan your body from head to toe. Notice any tension, any fatigue, or warmth, or energy. Then give thanks for 3 things around you: your breath, maybe the light in the room, and the steadiness of your heartbeat. Second, attend to your soul. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now, and what do I need? Name it, even if it's something small or seems impossible. If you can't attend to it immediately, Acknowledge it and promise yourself that you'll return later. Maybe even write it down. Because when you journal, you are attending to your soul. The soul needs acknowledgement more than fixing. The soul is your song, and your spirit is the breath that breathes that song. So listen to your spirit. It longs for truth and light. Ask your inner witness, that quiet place open to God, what truth it wants you to remember. You might hear words like rest, trust, just let go, or begin again. Let that be your compass for the day. Next, choose a word or intention. Something like peace or joy or curiosity, patience or gratitude. A few years ago, I was made aware of my complaining attitude and worrisome spirit. I knew it was true, and I didn't want to be that way. So I chose 2 words to help me change. Those 2 words were gratitude and curiosity. I can honestly say that things have changed for me, and I think you could confirm that with some of my friends. When I feel critical, I say, what can you be grateful for right now, Prudence? Just saying that myself changes my perspective. If you decide to choose a word, let that word hum beneath the surface of everything you do. Next, let nature ground you. Latest research says that even going barefoot in the grass has physical, emotional, and mental benefits. The uneven surface of grass engages and strengthens our foot muscles. The Earth's electrons act as antioxidants, neutralizing free radicals which can decrease inflammation, muscle tension, and pain. Now, I have yet to incorporate this into my life, but I think I should. Next, eat with awareness. Food is communion with the earth, with others, and with God. Slow down for at least 1 meal. Notice colors and textures and flavors. Imagine your body, soul, and spirit being nourished together. Let movement become prayer. While walking or stretching or exercise, move with intention. Whisper your word for the day, peace, love, joy, as you move. Let your body carry your prayer when words fall away. Try to journal your inner landscape. At day's end, write freely for 5 minutes, remembering you are attending to your soul. What emotions visited you today? Was there a moment that brought gratitude or grace? And then ask, what is my spirit longing for right now? Let your soul speak honestly, and your spirit listen with compassion. Also, stay connected. We were never meant to be whole alone. Laugh with someone. Share a meal. Let another's story touch you. I have a friend who I watch comedy with just to make sure I laugh enough. It is so good for me. And other people nourishes our soul and awakens our spirit. And I'll say it again, don't forget to take sacred pauses. Just 1 or 2 minutes a few times a day. Close your eyes and place your hand on your heart. Breathe deeply and remember, you are one whole being. In fact, let's take one together now. If you can, close your eyes. Place your hand on your heart and the other on your stomach. Take a slow breath in. Feel your body rise. And as you breathe out, whisper quietly, I am here. I am alive. Do it one more time. In and out, saying, I am here. I am alive. Let the breath bridge the distance between your body, your restless soul, and your eternal spirit. Notice what happens inside when you simply pay attention. Lastly, try to close your evening with a quiet review. Some traditions call it the examen. As a follower of Jesus, I like to ask, where did I see God today? Often small moments come to my mind. Unexpected kindness, a gentle word from a clerk at the store, a glimpse of beauty I might have missed if I hadn't paused. These are things to be thankful for. And then I ask, where might I have missed God's kindness and love today? Where did I react out of impatience or fear instead of love? Take a few moments at the end of your day to acknowledge those places, not with shame, but with honesty. Ask for grace and let the awareness clear your path for tomorrow. What remains unsettled in your heart tends to follow you into the night. So before you sleep, release it and rest. As I close, here's a question to carry with you this week. What is one small thing you can do to make you feel more fully alive in your body, your soul, and your spirit? Maybe it's a walk around your neighborhood, not for steps, but for wonder. Maybe it's writing a note to someone who's been on your mind. Maybe it's lighting a candle and sitting quietly with no agenda, no performance. Remember, being fully alive isn't about doing more. It's about waking up to what's already there. You just have to submit to it and make it a practice in your life. Thank you for pausing with me today. If this episode encouraged you, share it with someone who longs for more presence, more peace, more aliveness. Until next time, may you breathe deeply, live gently, and remember, you can experience living in harmony, body, soul, and spirit, fully alive. It's your choice. If you have questions you'd like me to respond to, I'd love to hear from you. You can email me at prudence@pausewithprudence.com. I don't pretend to have all the answers, but I'll gladly share what I'm learning along the way. And if you'd like to go deeper and want reminders of today's episode, you can download Pause page for this episode at www.pausewithprudence.com.